Lucho and his friend had been drawn to an old, abandoned school known for its dark past and the many bad stories surrounding it. Despite warnings, they decided to explore, eager to see if the tales were true.
Sente ruído, mano. Oh, papá. Escucha. Puto, se me echó. Tá louco, comarca, boludo. Che, papá. Vamos, la mierda, para. Vení, Julio, vení, vamos. Vamos, Julio, vení, vamos. Papá, vamos a la mierda. Papá, ve. Vamos. Vení, vamos, naca, Julio. ¿Qué? No pasa nada, Julio se cae. No, vamos a la mierda.
Acerquemos, no pasa nada.
Vamos, ¿qué pasa? Vamos. Uy, papá, vení. ¡Vamos a la mierda! Uy, papá.
As they made their way through the halls, chairs began being thrown across rooms, seemingly on their own, clattering loudly against walls. They cautiously stepped into a hallway where chairs had collapsed and littered the floor, making it difficult to move. Then, an object attached to the wall started moving by itself, shifting in a way that was impossible to explain. Suddenly, a very violent crash echoed through the building, sending both of them bolting out of the school, terrified and desperate to get away from whatever was causing the chaos. A friend of the uploader had recently moved into a new house and shared these clips online, saying he'd already packed up and left after the experiences. After watching the clip, you won't blame him, so take a look.
Jackson is like laser ass focused on this right now. He won't, like, you alright? I know. I think something's wrong. I don't know. I hear noises, but I'm not even sure. Are you fucking kidding me right now? There is no way that just happened. There is no way that just happened. There is no way. What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Jackson. What's wrong? There's banging and stuff.
His dog was intently focused on a closet, sniffing and growling at something unseen. Suddenly, an item flew off a shelf inside the closet, causing him to laugh nervously and deny that it had actually happened. After a short pause, the dog crept closer to the closet, barking furiously at seemingly nothing, and then the closet door swung shut by itself. Shaken, the friend decided to leave the house entirely, and later mentioned he wouldn't be returning anytime soon, knowing that the dog had clearly sensed something he couldn't explain. Edgar had always thought of himself as a rational guy. He worked long shifts, came home late, and usually spent his nights unwinding in front of the TV. Recently, though, he'd been feeling uneasy in his own home. Small things had been bothering him, such as misplaced objects, creaks in the night, and the strange feeling that he was being watched when no one else was there. He brushed it off as stress or exhaustion, but deep down, he knew something wasn't right. That unease finally came to a head one night.
Ay, los nuevos no son tan chidos. Este cabrón que se fue a la tienda, qué pedo. ¿Qué pedo? A la verga. No mames. No mames, no mames. No mames. Mierda, güey. No mames, no mames, no mames, no mames. No mames. Verga, 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 verga.
While relaxing on the couch, Edgar suddenly heard a scraping noise on the floor and got up to investigate. He spotted a cap hovering just behind the couch before it was hurled to the other side of the room. Startled, he ran, only for a cabinet door to slam shut by itself. Moments later, as he walked into the bathroom to catch his breath, he heard another loud crash from the kitchen. When he rushed to check, a chair slid itself away from the table, as though something invisible had pushed it. Completely shaken, Edgar grabbed his keys and left the house in fear. Later, he admitted he was considering never staying there alone again, believing the spirit was becoming stronger and impossible to cope with. Marcus Monroe had never been one to believe in the supernatural, but that changed after he came across a strange voodoo doll and brought it home. Ever since, his apartment hasn't felt the same. Lights flickered, objects shifted on their own, and the constant sense of being watched made his daily life unsettling. Still, he tried to brush it off and continue as normal.
Hello?
One evening, while lifting weights, Marcus was interrupted when the front door slammed shut by itself. Cautiously, he set his weights down, walked over, and opened the door, nervously calling out, "Hello?" Finding nothing, he locked the door, but unease lingered. As he turned away, a small pumpkin sitting on the counter slid off the edge and crashed to the ground, startling him. He placed it back, trying to stay calm. But before he could collect himself, another object suddenly fell from a shelf behind him, sending him into panic. Terrified and out of options, Marcus bolted from the apartment and admitted later he was considering leaving for good, convinced that the voodoo doll had brought bad energy to the place. At around 1 a.m., a man in his kitchen thought he was just grabbing a late-night snack, but his security camera would capture something far stranger. He set a box of cereal on the counter before turning around to grab the milk from the fridge. At first, everything seemed normal, but when he turned back, the box had shifted in a way that didn't make sense, leaving him staring in confusion. Trying to dismiss it, he went about pouring his drink, but the unease only grew. As he turned away again, this time the milk carton itself began to slide slowly across the counter, spinning and edging further with each second. He caught sight of it in disbelief, watching as it continued to move until it tipped off the counter completely, spilling across the floor in a loud crash. What started as a midnight snack had turned into an undeniable display of paranormal force. In the aftermath, the man admitted he couldn't laugh it off or explain it away anymore. Something in his home was showing its power, and it was no longer hiding. A British man was relaxing in his living room when things suddenly turned chaotic. At first, it was just one item that dropped from a shelf and smashed on the floor, making him shout in frustration that he was leaving the house for good. But before he could even process it, a plate hurled itself across the room, shattering right in front of him.
Now, I'm not being funny, people. I'm going.
Does this come on the name water?
Word water's just come up.
But as in the name?
As in the name.
Did the thing come up earlier?
I'm going.
If you've asked for a chat and they're asking you to chat.
Yeah, but look, it's come up with chat. I'm not going to sit here having things thrown at me. If you're there, please show yourself. It's thrown it at me!
He could hardly believe what he was seeing when yet another object was thrown his way, forcing him to duck back as the haunting turned violent. What makes this case so gripping is the aftermath. Viewers later learned he didn't actually leave the house that night. Instead, he stayed, furious and shouting at whatever presence was inside, claiming he wouldn't be pushed out of his own home. But locals who know him say his anger didn't fix anything, and in fact, the activity only escalated in the days after, as if the entity had been provoked. Some even speculate that by openly challenging it, he gave it more power. Too angry or not, though, I wish this man luck for the future. Juan had been working security at a local school for nearly 6 years, and though it wasn't the job of his dreams, it paid the bills and gave him a sense of routine. Most nights were uneventful, with long walks down silent hallways, checking that doors were locked and lights were off. But deep down, Juan always hated the eerie stillness of the place after dark. Teachers and staff had whispered to him before about the school being off, with stories of janitors quitting after hearing voices or objects moving on their own. He never gave those rumors much weight, brushing them off as ghost stories meant to keep kids from sneaking in. Still, when he was alone on those night shifts, the silence seemed heavy, as if the building itself was listening. One night, that silence was broken by a loud banging echoing from somewhere down the corridors. At first, Juan assumed it was a window, or maybe a prank, but the sound was too rhythmic, too deliberate. Determined to prove himself wrong, he He followed the noise until he reached one of the classrooms, only to find the door slightly blocked by a chair. He moved it out of the way and stepped inside, searching every corner, but the room was completely empty. Relieved, but unsettled, he turned to leave, only for the real shock to come. Just as he stepped back into the corridor, a heavy table slid across it, causing him intense fright. He sprinted out of the facility at full pace. Juan couldn't shake what had happened the night before. He told himself not to go back, that no paycheck was worth dealing with what he saw, but his shift required him there again. With a knot in his stomach, he stepped back into the school, this time more cautious, every flickering light and distant creak making him flinch. For a long while, it was eerily quiet, almost too quiet, as if the building had reset to normal. He began to relax slightly, convincing himself that maybe the sliding table was just his nerves playing tricks. That's when it started again, faint noises echoing through the empty halls. At first, they were small, like tapping on walls, but then they grew into harsh, scraping sounds, as if something heavy was being dragged across the floor in one of the locked classrooms. Juan froze, his breathing quick, staring down the dark corridor where the sounds were coming from. The longer it went on, the more unnerving it became, until he finally left the facility again, this time quitting for good. Helen's Homestead is a YouTube channel that documents explorations of paranormal places, but they are much smaller than the huge ghost hunters that you usually see on this channel. The following video was an adventure into a Scottish castle, and there was no doubt it was haunted according to the locals. So much of the castle was occupied by slaves and dungeons containing prisoners, so it is no surprise that they all stuck around to spread their wrath on visitors of the castle. Helen didn't think it was real, but explored anyway.
Catherine. Within its labyrinth of hallways and rooms, there's no sign of ghosts, but there's one place I haven't checked. It's now nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm down here in the dungeon. We were having dinner earlier tonight down here. It's definitely a very, very different mood now. The rest of the castle have gone to bed. Now I should point out I'm the only one in the dungeon. Just me and my camera, and I'm facing the only doorway. So, had no signs of her tonight. But if ever you were going to see a ghost, you think it would be here. So maybe it's all just rubbish. Maybe it's all just hocus pocus. Maybe there is no such thing as ghosts whatsoever. Anyway, I'm prepared to wait. Catherine. Oh, Catherine. The chair next to me is about to start thumping on its own. You'll be able to clearly hear it. It's creeping me out now. Okay, I get it. I'm going. Okay, Catherine, I get it. Then something moves in the dungeon, but I'm not staying to find out what it is. I'm freaking going. I'd like to think I'm a pretty rational person. But, if you're interested to play back what's on that tape. The chair banging on its own with such purpose is what scared me. And an intense electric feeling down the right side of my face and head. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm shaking like a leaf. Anyway,
during the daytime, literally nothing happened to suggest that this place was remotely haunted, and Helen was starting to believe that maybe this place was just a myth used to create a tourist attraction. However, the basement changed things. Out of nowhere, the chair started thudding as if someone was swinging on it, and when Helen was sent running out of the room, something left in there moved next. It was good content for the YouTube channel, so the team packed up the next day and left, not wanting to disturb the spirit. Our next clip was captured by a more high-profile ghost hunter on YouTube, and the name of their channel is Memoria Sobrenatural Inc. And from the name, you can tell they are not English. Fortunately, they dubbed their videos into the English language though, meaning we can get a full glance into this paranormal investigation. It took place in a house that someone was interested in buying, but wanted to check the status after suspicion of paranormal activity. This is what the ghost hunter was able to find.
Foi encontrado o corpo do homem aqui dentro. E ele quer deixar uma mensagem, mas o quê? Não me recordo desse varal aí em cima, com um negócio pendurado. Talvez essa aqui seria a cama aonde ele dormia? Ou talvez seria a cama de outra pessoa e o quarto dele seria outro. Opa! Olha isso! Olha isso! Olha isso, mano! Olha isso, pessoal! Cara do céu, velho! Ui! Minha nossa! Ah, cara do céu, é assustador. Quem é que está aqui próximo a mim? Escuta isso. Escuta isso. Ó. Tá pra cá. Ó. Tem alguma coisa pra cá. Opa, é aqui. Ai. Olha aqui, ó. Olha o quadro, mano. Olha o quadro. Rapaz do céu. Tá me retorcendo aqui, velho. Ai, minha garganta seca. A minha garganta tá seca, cara. Eu quis dizer sobre outro quarto desse aqui, ó. Com essa cama. A minha garganta tá seca, velho. Bicho do céu. Quem é que...
It was extremely obvious that this place was ridiculed with poltergeists, and it was not a nice one. The man behind the camera claimed afterwards that he felt a horrible feeling all the way down his spine, and this feeling only happens when there is an evil presence inside of the room. This meant that whatever was inside of here would not be hard to get rid of, and I wish luck to whoever that task gets given to. It's bad enough experiencing haunting things as a ghost hunter, but imagine suffering from paranormal activity as an innocent man. Bruji was your regular person living a regular life in his house, but suddenly it started to become riddled with haunted activity. For quite some time, he couldn't figure out what it actually was, but eventually, it started opening up more and more, with this video being one of them.
Hasta el miedo ya hasta se me quiere regresar la comida. Estético usa todo hasta allá. Imagínense qué tan grande está. O sea, real es todo este pedazo. Ay, cabrón. Seguro se grabó. No. Falta este pedazo.
Now he seemed to become stunned after looking up into the attic, and despite not being able to make anything out myself, perhaps he saw something that I couldn't, and there are cases of this happening to people. This will also help experts identify the type of spirit, so hopefully Bruji contacts one and finds out. Kubo, a regular guy who often shares random late-night thoughts and life updates on his page, wasn't someone you'd typically associate with anything paranormal. He lives in a quiet home, in a quiet neighborhood, and nothing out of the ordinary had ever really happened there. But this particular night felt different. According to him, the air had a strange stillness to it, almost like the house itself was holding its breath. Everyone else was out, so he was completely alone. Just him, the silence, and whatever was about to happen. He'd already brushed his teeth, shut everything down, and climbed into bed like usual. He was just about to scroll for a bit before sleeping when it began.
You're knocking on my bedroom door. Hello? Hello? Just leave it alone.
The bedroom door beside him started knocking. Not a single tap or a faint creak, but a sudden and aggressive series of knocks like someone wanted in. Kubo got up slowly, clearly confused and unnerved, and moved toward the door. But as he stepped out to check, the door across the hallway, totally closed a moment earlier, swung shut right in front of him. No wind, no one else in the house, just that eerie moment captured on film. He stood frozen, breathing heavily, the silence even heavier than before. The clip cuts there, but Kubo later said he stayed up the entire night, unsure of what he'd just witnessed. The following day, Kubo tried to brush off what had happened. He told himself it was probably something with the pipes, or maybe the house settling. Still, the way that hallway door had slammed shut, he couldn't quite shake the image from his mind. That night, even though nothing had happened all day, he found himself double-checking locks and lights, making sure everything was exactly as it should be before heading to bed. He even left a few hallway lights on, just in case. Still, when he finally settled into bed, there was a part of him hoping it really was over. But it wasn't. It was sometime around 2 in the morning when he first heard it. This low, shifting noise coming from inside his bedroom. Not loud, but unmistakable. Almost like fabric dragging against itself, or something brushing against the floor. He sat up slowly, unsure if it had come from his dream or from the room itself. The noise came again. He reached for his phone and began recording, the screen casting a soft glow across the room as he panned it toward the source.
I know I haven't posted in a couple days, but I've been staying out of my room because it just got to be too much, but I swear, I'm hearing voices coming from there the last like 20 minutes.
What the camera caught next only lasted a split second, but it was enough to send chills through anyone watching. Hanging in thin air was one of his shirts. It hovered mid-air for maybe half a second, as if being held by something invisible, before dropping straight to the ground with a soft thud. There was no breeze, no vent nearby, nothing that could have caused it. Kubo gasped and pulled back, muttering something under his breath. The clip ended with the camera pointed toward the floor, his voice shaking, whispering that he didn't know what he just saw. In the hours after, he didn't go back to sleep. He sat on the edge of his bed, lights on, heart racing. Even when the sun came up, the image of that levitating shirt kept playing over in his head. For someone who'd never believed in anything paranormal, this was starting to feel too real. FIFA is a popular game for many and has been for years. It's probably the best video game remake of the sport, hence its popularity, and the victim of this next clip, Eiji, was casually enjoying it. He had just finished a really long shift at work, so needed some gaming time to wind down. Little did he know that it'd have the opposite effect. It was literally going to stress him out 100 times more than work ever could.
Astagfirullahaladzim. Astagfirullah. Ini jam berapa sih? 11. Jing belum keadaan nyala ya.
Out of nowhere, the keyboard started playing when he scored, and he went over to prove that it was fully working. The camera also showcased that his wife was fast asleep, so she could not have had anything to do with the incident. Whatever made this happen was an unnatural cause, and the only person who even has a slither of hope stopping them is a ghost hunting expert. The following video took place when a man heard something, but he was unable to pin where it was. In case it was a neighbor or something minor like that, he chose to ignore it and continue watching television. However, every minute or so, the noise would happen again, and it got to the point where even if it was a neighbor, they deserved to be told to shut up anyway. The man stood up, mobile phone in hand, walking around the house double-checking that it definitely wasn't in his home before complaining, and he's lucky he did. Take a look.
Alright, I have to start recording again. I know I just heard something. You guys are seeing this, right? You gotta be joking me.
Strangely, a small human figure was pressing itself against the door, and this was creepy as hell, for obvious reasons. I don't know a single person in the entire world who wouldn't feel fear in the face of something like this, and you could feel the fright in the voice and movements of the man behind the camera. For the next few days, he and his children were living on edge, and praying that whatever thing was left them alone. Fortunately, nothing happened over these few days, which actually gave them a slither of hope that it really was gone. You should never get so comfortable so soon after a poltergeist strikes though, because they can come back at any moment, and this clip proves that.
Okay, I have to start recording because we've started to hear more things around the house, and kind of nervous. Jeez.
Hey, Dad?
Yeah.
I think I heard something.
Okay.
This time, they were hearing noises again, so the father took his camera and walked around in case anything absurd took place. Randomly, some objects were thrown to the ground in the kitchen, and then the distressed child left his room, saying he heard something. As the father panned the camera back to his son, a shadow figure was seen standing abruptly still, and at first, he actually missed this. It was only later when he was scrolling through the footage that he realized how scary this actually was. This time he took action and called a helpline for people suffering from ghosts, but they could only send experts within the next few days. This is why the family had to endure one more haunting before help arrived.
I'm sorry. I've heard... It's been non-stop. I've heard these knocks. I don't know. No. Just, I think you should get away. I think you should go away. I think you should go away. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Okay, no. Okay. This is scary. Okay.
The knocking was persistent and scary, especially for the little girl. I hope for her sake that this is sorted soon, and you subscribe. The Haunting of CK is an ongoing series of eerie events that have unfolded inside the home of Chloe Campbell and her family. It all began with small, almost dismissible moments. Nothing too loud, nothing too obvious. But one particular clip marked the shift. One afternoon, their young son was sitting in the living room, completely immersed in his iPad. Right in front of him, a toy digger suddenly rolled across the floor on its own, slowly disappearing out of frame. Just seconds later, a balloon from the dining area began to drift the same way, following the same path. The boy never noticed. It was only later, while reviewing the security footage, that Chloe and her husband saw it, and the air instantly felt heavier. They hadn't remembered the balloon being in that room. The toy was turned off, and there was no logical reason for the movement. That clip became their first undeniable sign that something wasn't right. A few nights later, things escalated. Captured again on one of their cameras, the door to their downstairs porch creaked open all by itself in the middle of the night. It paused, just long enough to feel deliberate, before slamming itself shut with force. No one was near it. No windows were open, just a silent room and a door that moved like it had intent. When the family reviewed that footage the next morning, they were left shaken. While they tried to carry on as normal, this moment marked a turning point. And with tensions rising, it's clear the haunting of CK is far from over. The following video was captured by a family called the Hamley family, and they have actually appeared on my channel before. Over the past month, they have gone through a lot when it comes to the paranormal world, and no regular household could put up with it. Fortunately, these aren't your regular people. One day, the mother and father of the house decided they were going to run a test to gather even more evidence of a paranormal presence, and in order to keep the kids safe from it, they brought them to their grandparents beforehand. This is how the test ended up going down. Take a look.
All right, TikTok, here's our door. Hinges to the ground, okay. The handle up behind and down. Okay, that's everything. Can you close the door? Yes.
Can you close the door? Brittany, please?
When the mother encouraged the spirit to work its magic, it unfortunately didn't give her any attention, and this was nothing unusual for their spirit, as it only listened to the man every time. The man was then given the green light to have his attempt at commanding the ghost, and it unsurprisingly listened and closed the door on them. We were showcased the entirety of the door's surrounding area, just to prove that nothing natural made this happen. It was a ghost's act for sure. Magnus always had a weird feeling about his house, but he wanted proof. The creaking floors, cold spots, and that constant sense of being watched weren't enough to convince anyone else, so he decided to film himself sleeping. That night, he set up a camera beside his bed, pointed at the desk, where strange things always seemed to happen.
I want to prove my house is haunted. People don't believe me, so I recorded my room while I was asleep. If you want more evidence, then like and share the video.
Around 3 o'clock in the morning, a glowing orb floated into frame, hovering right in front of the camera before drifting away. Moments later, the whiteboard on his desk began to move, slowly tipping over until it collapsed with a dull thud. Magnus didn't wake up at all, but the next morning, after reviewing the footage, he realized how real it all was and that he might not be safe. So he posted it online, hoping someone out there might know what he was dealing with. Encouraged by the evidence, Magnus set up the camera again, this time in the living room. He left his dog in there overnight, just to see if anything else would happen.
I want to prove my house is haunted. One hour later. My dog does not like to be alone in the house. Try to explain this? She is afraid. We often experience eerie things in our living room. Like and follow for more videos.
About an hour into the recording, something small fell from the tea table without warning, and the dog immediately started squealing, backing into the corner, and refusing to calm down. Some say dogs can see what we can't, and Magnus was starting to believe that more than ever. Magnus had started recording around the clock. He didn't need a specific reason anymore. He just knew something would happen. It always did. The presence, whatever it was, had been with him his whole life, moving from place to place like a shadow that never left. One afternoon, he was in the attic sorting through something when he heard a soft but distinct noise behind him.
Want to prove that my house is haunted. I record in my new home around the clock because I have the same feeling here as in my childhood home. I often have nausea, headaches, and stomach aches, and at the same time I freeze a lot. The ghost has followed me all my life. However, it has started to scare me more and more, especially when I live alone. I have scary footage from my first night here. Like, share, and follow to get the message out about ghosts.
He paused, slowly stood up, and reached for the camera resting nearby. As he turned toward the sound, a chill ran through him. One of the drawers across the room had begun to slide open by itself, slow and steady, like someone unseen was rummaging through it. Then, without warning, something heavy clattered to the floor behind him, just out of frame. He spun around, breathing heavy, but the attic was still. Not empty, but still. Magnus didn't say anything. He just kept the camera rolling, heart pounding, knowing this wouldn't be the last time the spirit caused him troubles. Magnus had reached his limit. The constant fear, the sleepless nights, the feeling of never being alone. It had gone on too long. He didn't know exactly what was haunting him, but he was done running from it. That night, he decided to try a ritual he'd read about online. It wasn't anything complex, just a table surrounded by candles, and a few whispered phrases meant to lure whatever was attached to him into revealing itself.
I want to prove that my house is haunted. I had a hope that the lights were blown out in front of me. I could quickly feel discomfort. About 2 minutes later. This made me sleep out at night.
He sat at the table, quiet, watching the flames flicker, hoping the presence would fall for the trap and blow one out. But instead, he heard a sound, soft footsteps maybe, or something brushing against the walls. He stood up slowly and moved off camera, following the noise. A few seconds passed, then suddenly, a few of the paintings behind the table crashed to the ground, the sound sharp and violent in the still room. Magnus didn't rush back in. The footage caught only the empty room, the broken frames, and flickering candlelight. From somewhere off-screen, he could be heard breathing, quietly watching, waiting to see if that was the end of it, or just the beginning. He will likely end up contacting a paranormal investigator. Ortega had always been drawn to the darker corners of the internet, urban legends, ghost stories, places you weren't supposed to visit. So when he heard rumors about an abandoned school hidden miles off the main road, he couldn't resist. Locals said no one who went there stayed long, but Ortega wasn't trying to stay. He just wanted proof. He drove for over an hour down a cracked, overgrown road until the building finally came into view, half swallowed by trees and time.
¿Qué onda, raza? Pues aquí voy rumbo para la escuela del Barrancón, aquí en Huelahuises. Es que vine a investigar yo solo. Ven. Yo solo. Y pues medianoche. Vengo a ver porque vi un video donde pues 5 pelados bien peludos. Sale una voz al principio del video diciendo: me duele mucho. Pero yo no sé qué chingados le duele a un fantasma. La mera neta. Yo no sé qué chingados le duele a un fantasma. Entonces pues yo vengo acá solo para enseñarles de que pues no hay nada. No hay nada. Porque pues como para que estén engañando a la gente, pues como que no. Bueno, entonces le voy a poner pausa. Pues hasta que llegue entonces. Ok, pues ya llegué. Son las 12:38. Sí, no hay nadie. Esta es la escuela que tanto les decía. Ay, voy a escuchar. Y por allá hay una novia. Pero la novia no me voy a meter. Porque ese culo. Y al chile sí tengo un poquito de miedo. Un poquito nomás. Pero esta es la escuela. La escuela San Benito Juárez. 1954. Esta madre. A ver, enfoca bien. Ahí está esta madre. Y aquí hay una. Esta madre no se abre. Ay, güey. Me caí con eso. Es todo lo que. Mira nomás, esta sí está abierta. Pues ya vieron, güey. Puro pinche pedo, no hay ni madres a la verga. Ay. Ay, no mames. No mames. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es? ¿Qué le pregunto, güey? Puta madre. Ay, güey.
Getting inside wasn't easy. Every door was either jammed or chained shut, but after circling the place for roughly 2 minutes, he found an entrance that he could get through. The air inside was thick, still. As he stepped deeper into one of the old classrooms, something shifted. Ortega didn't wait. He turned and bolted, scrambling back through the window, sprinting to his car, without ever looking back. Now, whenever someone brings up ghosts, he just shakes his head and laughs it off. But the way he triple checks locked doors and avoids old buildings says otherwise. It started as just another quiet night. The woman was relaxing in her house when something caught her eye, a painting on the wall, gently swaying back and forth, without any obvious cause. It wasn't near a vent or window, and nothing else in the room was moving. Curious and a little unsettled, she pulled out her phone and started filming.
I thought I saw the picture move. Oh my God, I did see it move. What was that? Oh my God. Oh, this gave me the chills. Oh man. Okay. That's the pots and pans moving. What is that? Why are the pots and pans moving? Oh my God. Shit.
The painting continued to shift rhythmically, as if nudged by invisible hands. She decided to check the kitchen next, and what she found made her stop in her tracks. The pot and pan rack hanging from the ceiling was swinging steadily, as if recently pushed. Then, as if on cue, something suddenly fell from the tabletop with a loud thud. There was no one else in the house, no tremor, no reason for anything to be moving. Shaken by what she saw and felt, she reviewed the footage and couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Since that night, she's kept her camera close and her lights on, unsure what might happen next. James and Tyler were just out looking for a thrill, exploring an old, supposedly haunted house they'd heard rumors about for years. With their gear, camera ready, they decided to film the whole thing from the moment they stepped inside.
So, let's go in the house and go.
Do we go in the warehouse or the...
Let's go to the regular house.
Alright.
What the hell? Dude, seriously. Whatever happened to this fucking house?
I don't know.
Look at your stairway. What is that?
I think it used to be a garage or something.
No, because their garage was that. It had to be.
Yeah, that's like a warehouse, man.
Look at the roof, it's all fucked up.
Where?
In there, shit, look.
Oh, yeah.
Door. What the? Look at that shit.
Huh?
There's glass. There's an oven. There's an oven door.
Where?
In the middle of the living room.
The roof is off. Holy shit! Dude! Oh my... Go! Go! I could've sworn a person. Dude, there's a person. Holy shit. Yeah, there is. Nick, I'm not...
The footage shows the inside of the house in total disrepair. Dust, broken furniture, and rubble scattered across every room. As they move through the chaos, the one holding the camera pans upward, and that's when it happens. A faint, ghostly figure walks silently across the landing above them. It's transparent, slow, and eerily calm. The boys freeze for a moment in disbelief before panic takes over. They bolt out of the house, slipping on the debris as they sprint toward the front door. Outside, they barely catch their breath before vowing never to go back. Whatever that thing was, it was enough to make them stop laughing about ghosts for good. In the following video, a trio consisting of one boy and two girls had been hearing stories for years about their school being haunted. Whispers of strange figures in the halls, books falling on their own, and unexplained noises after dark were passed down from class to class. Curious and determined to get proof, they signed up for chess club just to have a reason to stay late. When everyone finally cleared out, they slipped into the main building with a camera, hoping to find something.
So we're here at Garland High School right now. We're looking for a ghost because apparently a girl died in the cafeteria and we're trying to find her. So,
she was a big bitch. She was at a dance.
Yeah, and
so they say she's wearing this long, flowy dress. Looks kind of ethereal or something.
Yeah,
ethereal? You know, like ghosty or angel-y.
I don't know, but so we're trying to find something and we don't know what we're trying to find exactly. And so we think she died here obviously because this is where the hell the dance is. And
what the f*** is that? Oh my god.
What was that noise?
Did you see it?
Did you hear that?
Oh my god, help!
What?
Oh my god. What is that?
What?
Did you see it?
As they set off to wander the dim corridors, a ghostly apparition suddenly jumps out from around the entrance to a staircase and vanishes just as quickly. The moment is quick, but terrifying. None of them saw it coming. All three scream, turn, and sprint down the hallway in a panic, their fear echoing louder than their footsteps. They didn't go back for their chessboards. After reviewing the footage at home, their shock turned to silence. It wasn't a shadow or a trick of the light. Someone, or something, had jumped out at them. The school never felt the same after that night, and none of them dared stay late again. A husband and wife were getting ready to put their daughter in bed one night when something nobody expected happened. The time was 9 p.m. and the husband started asking his daughter if she was ready for bed, and the energetic girl denied this. Every single time he asked, she would beg for 5 more minutes, and eventually, the wife left the room to go to bed and left the husband to it. This is what happened.
Hey, girlie, you ready to take a nap?
No.
No? 5 more minutes, then we have to go sleep, okay? We're gonna have to turn Peppa Pig off.
No.
I'm sorry, I know.
Out of nowhere, the toy cabinet behind the gate opened and spilled its contents onto the floor in an aggressive manner. Neither the girl or father knew what caused this to happen, but they both ran to tell the mother of the family very quickly. From this point and forwards, the little girl has nightmares about ghosts, and I pray that they end up coming to a halt sooner rather than later. In the following video, a trio consisting of 1 boy and 2 girls had been hearing stories for years about their school being haunted. Whispers of strange figures in the halls, books falling on their own, and unexplained noises after dark were passed down from class to class. Curious and determined to get proof, they signed up for chess club just to have a reason to stay late. When everyone finally cleared out, they slipped into the main building with a camera, hoping to find something.
Like, I swear to God, there's something in my closet. This just keeps making noise. I don't know if y'all, like, heard that or anything, but I swear. I know, like, look. Oh my God. There's, like, no one doing that. That's... What? Do. Oh my God. Okay, I know I'm not crazy. This happened the past 4 nights. Everyone keeps saying I'm crazy. Oh my God.
As they set off to wander the dim corridors, a ghostly apparition suddenly jumps out from around the entrance to a staircase and vanishes just as quickly. The moment is quick but terrifying. None of them saw it coming. All 3 scream, turn, and sprint down the hallway in a panic, their fear echoing louder than their footsteps. They didn't go back for their chessboards. After reviewing the footage at home, their shock turned to silence. It wasn't a shadow or a trick of the light. Someone, or something, had jumped out at them. The school never felt the same after that night, and none of them dared stay late again. Two little girls were sitting at the dinner table, enjoying their meal, while their mom kept an eye on them from across the room. Everything seemed normal at first, but one of the girls suddenly stopped eating and stared past the camera, her expression turning from confused to terrified.
Finish eating.
When I'm done, can we get our fries?
Yeah.
I just... what? Don't scare me.
What?
I'm scared. It's okay.
I just turned off the lights, that's all. What was that?
I'm scared.
What are you doing? Oh, what, Nani? Look at me. What are you scared of? The fish? Oh, the fish died.
What?
Angel's sleeping already. It's raining, girls. Nani, are you almost done eating? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. But you gotta listen to me. Turn around. Look at me. What's the matter?
She pointed towards something in the corner, insisting she saw something, while her sister laughed and teased her for being scared. But then the girl screamed and bolted into their mom's arms, shaking. The laughter quickly stopped when the second girl looked in the same direction and her smile vanished. Her face twisted in fear as she too ran crying into her mother's arms. But the strange thing is, neither their mom nor the camera caught anything unusual in that direction. Whatever they saw, it wasn't visible to anyone else in the room. After that night, both girls refused to eat in that room again. Angel Martinez was a man with no superstitious beliefs whatsoever, but when he heard about a haunted complex from his brother, he had to investigate. Roughly 2 months ago, his brother was forced to move out of the house because his parents started charging a ridiculous rent, so he went to stay in a small and cheap apartment complex. This was a big move for him, and he was super nervous, and this only enhanced when he realized the place was haunted. He kept informing Angel Martinez of this, and despite having no belief, Angel trusted his brother more than anyone else, so agreed to come and check it out, and he actually found something. Take a look.
Entonces, ¿qué es eso que se escucha? ¿Qué es eso que se escucha? Bueno. Hola, 100 puntos. Hola, 100 puntos.
For quite some time, nothing happened, and Angel was seriously considering that his brother might have started going crazy. But then, the event took place. A ghostly apparition walked across the second floor of the complex, and it was very obviously not human. You'd expect Angel to become scared and run away after this though, but he didn't. He stayed strong. Next, he decided to walk around the back to the area that used to be a school, and the room there has not been occupied for 15 years. This might just be why.
Mira, estoy grabando esto. Bueno, estoy un poco asustado, pero igual. Mira, esa aula está enllavada, pero esa luz quedó encendida cuando se fueron. Ya el colegio tiene mucho abandonado. Mira, la luz se enciende y se apaga cuando yo estoy largo, pero cuando yo me acerco, mira lo que pasa. Ahorita se enciende y se apaga. Ahora mira, ahorita cuando me acerco, mira. Mira, yo sé que puede ser una falla porque está ese cepo parpadeando. Ajá, yo lo entiendo. Pero yo no entiendo por qué cuando yo me acerco, mira, no ha parpadeado ni una vez. Y el aula está enllavada porque así la dejaron los maestros. Ahora mira cuando yo es que ando tartamudo del asustado que estoy. Ahora mira cuando yo me alejo. Mira, ¿ya viste? Mira. Ahora mira cuando me acerco. Mira. Nada. Ahora mira ahorita que es que estoy tartamudeando. Ahora mira ahorita que me aleje. Ahí está. No fregué. No creo que sea un defecto del aula. Mira, se apagó. No creo que sea un defecto del aula, pero lo que voy a hacer es que me voy a encerrar allá donde estoy cuidando. Es que mira, aquí es bien oscuro. A veces hasta esa luz le agarra así. A todas las luces le agarra así. Mira, sigue parpadeando, mira. Ahora, si yo me acerco rápido, corriendo, para no darle tiempo. Nada, mira. ¡Ah! Ahí está. Ya no se volvió a apagar.
The lights were flickering as if there was some sort of electrical issue, but it was too coincidental that it stopped whenever Angel walked away. This place was haunted as hell, and he could resonate with his brother now, and help to convince the wider family. Juan Ferrada was having a nice and relaxed night watching television, and slowly dozing off to sleep. He was getting closer and closer to rest, and his eyes were slowly closing. so he decided to power off the TV and call it a night. However, it was when he did this that his front door started knocking really aggressively. Out of fear, Juan entered freeze mode and couldn't move, unsure of who could be so demanding of entering his house at this late hour. Eventually, he buckled up the courage to check it out, and it was the last thing he could have possibly expected. Somehow, there was nobody on the other side of the door, and no matter how many times he chose to open and close it, still, no one appeared. It was almost as if the knocking was coming from thin air, which is obviously impossible, so this had to be a spirit. Juan is currently in contact with several ghost hunters who are expertised on the matter, and it is only a matter of time before he gets the help he needs. I wish him all of my luck. On January the 23rd of 2018, a video was uploaded to Facebook that would cause everybody who witnessed it to question everything about life. It was captured by a man called Diana Ramos, and he had never experienced anything that he would label as paranormal before. Whilst this did mean he wasn't confident in the existence of ghosts though, he was open to changing his interpretation, and this event definitely did that. Take a look.
Al fondo. ¿Es por donde hubo el incendio, cómo?
Avenida Argentina.
Oye, en la cámara acaba de pasar ahorita una niña corriendo.
¿Ah, sí?
Oye, la niña que llora. Oye, te juro que en la cámara acaba de pasar ahorita corriendo, una niña. Oye, ha corrido hacia acá. Oye, te juro que ha pasado ahorita una niña corriendo. Ahorita mira, te voy a hacer el video. Entro por el fondo.
In the corner of his eye, Diana noticed some sort of human figure gliding behind the doctor, and it was well known that nobody was in that room. After reviewing the footage and showing it to everyone else in the room, they all agreed he wasn't just seeing things, and this was an urgent matter. The doctor informed his boss of the incident, and they agreed he could relocate to another room if it bothered him, and he took the offer. Hopefully this spirit doesn't follow him there too. Just hours before this next clip was recorded, a couple were happily enjoying their joint day off together without the kids. They hadn't had so much time together in ages, but instead of choosing to go to a fancy restaurant or a proper day out, they thought staying home was the best idea. For a while, things were peaceful, as they should have been, and there was no sign of anything out of the ordinary happening. Until there was. All sorts happened in their house, and they were forced to sprint to church and ask for help. Unfortunately, the priest needed proof of what caused this, so they had to go back into the house with a camera, and this is what was filmed.
Są tylko klucze.
ale masz wody.
Ja muszę stąd wziąć tylko klucze.
Okej.
Wychodzimy.
Dobra. Wychodźmy szybko. Co to miało? Kompas.
Agnieszka, zaspokoję. Tu się dziwne przechodzenie przeżyć.
Ja się boję, bomba, wyjdźmy stąd już, proszę cię, co?
Słyszysz? Mówiłem ci, że tu się dzieją dziwne rzeczy.
Co się dzieje?
Idziemy. Czekaj, muszę zamknąć dom.
Literally, all sorts happened when they returned, and to call this a paranormal surge would be a disrespectful understatement. This stuff was on a whole different level, and the priest agreed after seeing the footage. They are scheduled to visit in a few days' time, so from now, it's just fingers crossed until something happens. If you were to guess 3 places that were most likely to be haunted, I bet your guesses would include the basement, a graveyard, and some sort of medical center. If you did say one of these 3 things, you were right, and this upcoming video proves that. When Paddy's mother was hospitalized for the foreseeable future, he visited the facility a lot to check up on her. However, there was one area of the hospital that was strictly forbidden. It was what used to be the waiting room. But after rumors of some sort of ghost terrorizing it, the owners of the hospital had to relocate the room and deem this one out of bounds. One day though, curiosity got the better of Paddy, and he decided to do a little bit of investigating. He thought this story was a load of rubbish, and maybe it was a cover-up to try and hide something. This is what happened on his voyage.
Ay. Maganda na 311 ngayon ah. Pwede. Ay, ina. Ay, shit. Ay.
For a small period, nothing much happened, and Paddy was becoming extremely convinced that his theory was correct. He was looking everywhere to see if there was something that could possibly be a hidden piece of information, and finally, he found something. It definitely wasn't what he expected, though. Out of seemingly nowhere, a human-looking figure appeared in the corner of the room, and it was dressed in a purely white robe. The thing that made this even weirder than it was is that when Paddy panned the camera back to the corner, the spirit had disappeared entirely. After showing this evidence to his friends, they all said it must have been a weird light casting, but Paddy had a feeling that this was real, and being the one in the room, his verdict is the most important. Let me know what you think in the comments. The Devil's Tramping Ground is a North Carolina hotspot for paranormal activity, and many people are too scared to give it a visit. Fortunately for us, a man called Kevin, who professes in ghost hunting across the United States, decided to visit the location to help show people that ghosts don't actually harm people, they just play with them. Throughout the video, small things happen that could easily be excused for a natural cause, but at one point, something truly unsettling took place, and you should have a watch.
Maybe ever who was here before had to get out here in a hurry.
Probably because the police showed up. Like, hey, not allowed to be here. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Is there anything in it?
No.
In the background of the video, a white human figure was walking through the forest, as if it was just a regular day. This definitely wasn't a human because of its full, white appearance, and the way its movements glided, so Kevin was 100% certain this was a poltergeist upon reviewing the footage. 36,000 people saw this video, and that's 36,000 people who will never want to visit this location. When a married couple are both suffering from poltergeist activity together, you would think it had become slightly easier, but that could not be further from the truth. The following video captures a paranormal surge that happened in a couple's household, and the scariest thing is that this wasn't even the first time one happened. For the past month, they have both been experiencing this, and it is no surprise that the wife said what she did at the end.
Creep me out.
Yeah, that's why I said let's put it all away.
Baby, I know, but I'm just like nervous.
I'm getting upset because
we're gonna close it off. Let's close it away. Let's. Oh shit, baby, baby. I was trying to put it away and fuck. What was that? Well, I'm like that. Did I hurt you, baby? Did I hurt you? Did I bump into you?
Yes.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm real sorry.
I'm done.
Baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was not my intentions, honey. Hold on.
I want to stop.
How the f that mother moving like that? Literally, baby, you seen that? You seen that shit?
I told you. I'm literally done with this. I'm about to just go in the other room because you're starting to piss me off. Baby. I don't want to play around with this shit no more.
Baby, I'm telling you, I don't want to play it neither, but it's just crazy, baby.
Like, are you serious?
The wife was done with all of it, and thought that if they stopped entertaining the ghost with a reason to haunt them, then it would eventually stop. I hope that this is a true theory and that her husband actually takes action on it, but I guess we will never know. A few years ago, a TikTok account was made called The Dark Truth, and its only goal was to document a haunting that a man was going through. It was really bad, and he supposedly couldn't go more than 2 days without something strange happening, so it was only a matter of time before he sought the internet for advice. One day, he decided to do a live stream to showcase that his short videos were not staged at all, and that things would happen at random points in the day. Something weird happened in this stream, but I'm going to let you figure out what.
Once I have an idea, it what? It wants to be afraid of it. Let's get what? Huh? I think? in my kitchen. My sink? What do you mean my sink? What do you mean my sink?
Don't even say that. That'd be scary. I have to live here by myself.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
At first, the man didn't even realize what was going on behind him, and it was very sneaky from the spirit. It was toying with him to a new extreme, and even threw something down the stairs while he was innocently sitting on them. If I was this man, I would contact a ghost hunter immediately, and for his own safety. I really, really hope he does. Ghosts like this are not easy to deal with at all when faced alone. Ian, better known online as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, has been featured on this channel countless times, traveling solo to some of the most haunted places in America. In this clip, he was once again exploring the same abandoned theater completely alone at night. Determined to dig deeper than before, he made his way down into the building's basement, a level long rumored to hold some of the theater's darkest energy.
Okay, there's definitely someone in there. Sounds like people talking in here. Hello? Who's in there? Talk to me. What's your name? Oh my gosh. Is there someone in here? There's literally nobody in here. Yet it sounded like there were. Oh. What's that smell? That smells like cigar smoke. All right, I know somebody's down here with me. Could you give me a sign of your presence? That door just opened! Oh my God! What just happened? Look at that. What? Are you serious? How do you explain that? That drawer just...
While walking through one of the side hallways, he suddenly stopped. There were voices, faint, but definitely there. They didn't sound like echoes or animals. They were human, speaking low and steady from somewhere deeper in. He followed the sound. As he reached the far end of the corridor, the voices abruptly stopped. He turned to scan the area when, just ahead of him, a drawer slid open by itself. He froze, stunned, and backed away, breathing heavily. He opened and closed the drawer to make sure it wasn't rigged or already loose, but it had been shut tight before. Remember to subscribe because this story will be continuing in future videos. Sandra had returned to the house where her late mother once lived, a place now owned by her grandmother. who often claimed the spirit of her daughter still lingered in its walls. It was already an emotional visit, but what happened that day left her shaken. She walked into the bedroom her mom used to sleep in, taking in the familiar atmosphere when something startling occurred.
Things that keep happening in my house since my mom passed away. Like, why? I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. It seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom? Your cat's fucking weird.
The bottom shelf of a cabinet creaked open entirely on its own, causing Sandra to freeze. Summoning her courage, she gently pushed it closed and asked the word, "Mom," almost as if hoping for a response. Moments later, the shelf opened once again by itself, making it feel like her mother had truly answered. After her first video gained traction, one particular comment stood out. A viewer suggested she check inside the bottom shelf, wondering if maybe it wasn't just a coincidence, but a deliberate sign. Taking their advice, Sandra decided to record again.
Okay, let's do it. I don't know what could be in this drawer. I have my bathing suits and stuff. Halloween shorts that I need to put to my Halloween stuff. Lingerie. Brown case. My Magnificent Fizz. My bills are just like, I don't know, clear room or something, I don't know. Lottie bucks for my cruise. I went on a cruise last year and I left over ones. Dog's bandana. Bra. What's this? Something my daughter got me. So I do think that this is it. If it is anything, but I'm kind of feeling like this is. I found this note that I'm going to post on top of here from my mom. And then I listen to what this plays.
In the video, she carefully began removing the items from the shelf one by one, showing there were no tricks involved. At the very back, she uncovered a small, dust-covered music box that she instantly recognized as her mother's. With trembling hands, she wound the handle, and to her shock, it began playing the exact melody her mom had written down in a note years earlier. It was a song tied so closely to her mother's memory that it couldn't have been random. Sandra sat there in tears, overwhelmed by the moment, convinced she had just received a direct message from beyond. The discovery only deepened her belief that her mother truly was still watching over her. Miguel had been working as a cleaner for a while, and to him, it was nothing more than a job he couldn't wait to leave behind. The long hours, the late-night shifts, and the way people treated the place without care made it miserable for him. He often said the silence of the building at night was the worst part, since it left him alone with nothing but his thoughts. But one night, that silence was broken by something he could never have expected. He heard the sound of running water echoing from the bathroom, even though nobody else was supposed to be there. Confused, and a little unsettled, he went to check it out.
Nadie allá. Bueno, voy para adentro. La sangre de Cristo me cura. Hola, hola. Hola. Hola, hola. ¿Estás acá? ¿Dónde estás? Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? Necesito otra prueba. Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
As he entered, the taps began turning on and off by themselves, the hand dryer blasting air without anyone near it, all repeating several times, as if mocking his presence. He stood frozen, not sure if he should stay or run, until suddenly, the door to one of the stalls slammed shut with incredible force. That was enough for Miguel. He bolted from the bathroom, shaken to his core, convinced his already miserable job had just revealed a far darker side. Pete had been frustrated for weeks, noticing the door to his storage room would creak open at random intervals, but always seemed to stop the moment he tried to film it. It became almost like a routine. He'd hear the sound, grab his phone, run over, and by the time he hit record, the door was already closed again, leaving him with nothing to show. He joked that the spirit must have been camera shy, playing games with him on purpose, but eventually, his persistence paid off.
And like, I can't catch the door opening on camera because every time I pull it out, it don't. Every time I pull my phone out, the door don't open. Oh my god. Oh my god. What was that? What was that? Bro, what the f was that?
This time, the door slowly opened on its own while the camera was rolling, and for just a moment, a shadow could be seen shifting in the darkness behind it. Pete's heart pounded as he rushed forward to check, but when he swung the door wide open, there was nothing there at all. The clip left him shaken and only further convinced that something was truly inhabiting his home. The very next day, Pete thought he could finally put the strange storage room incident behind him, but things only got weirder. His neighbors were out of town, leaving their apartment completely empty. Yet something about it caught his attention from his own window. He decided to grab his phone and start filming.
What the frick is my neighbor doing, bro? I'm right there with that light. That's my neighbors, bro. Oh, hell no, bro. Hell, see, bro, I'm telling you, it's followed me to my house. On my mama, it followed me to my house. She's not here. There is no car in the driveway. I'm literally in the next apartment. Like, I just got home from work, and this is what I see, bro. Yeah, haunted. This shit's haunted. This followed me to my crib. Hell no. She's not here.
Yeah, no. Been doing it all day.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
It's in her kitchen.
Yeah, it's the kitchen. Yeah. And people, bro, I'm telling you, bro, this thing is following me to my house. I'm literally I'm right there.
Yeah,
Look, my neighbor's not here. That's my neighbor's driveway. That's mine. This is her apartment, bro. Like, I'm not folding, bro. I'm not going. My father said he's been doing it all day today. And like, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Cabinet's open. This cabinet is always open. Every time I come out here to let the dogs out, it does this, bro. See? Nobody's in there. Nobody's in there. This light right here. It's no shortage because they would have messed our apartment up too. Nobody's in there, bro. I know I'm like just looking at my neighbor's thing, but bro, that's like, I'm telling you, that's trippy. Like, nothing has happened at work all day today, and then all of a sudden this stuff starts to happen? Nah, heck no, because I live right there. Literally, it's just a wall, and I heard, nope.
Through the camera, the lights inside their apartment could be seen flicking on and off in a perfect, almost mechanical rhythm. No randomness, no glitches, just an eerie, deliberate pattern. Pete's voice in the background explained that this wasn't an outage because if it were, his own lights would be flickering too. He stood there baffled, realizing this wasn't something that could be easily dismissed. To him, it was like whatever presence had been toying with him had now crossed over to a new stage, reaching beyond his own home. A few days passed, and things seemed to settle down for Pete, at least until one unsettling night. He was home alone, fast asleep, when he suddenly woke up to strange noises echoing throughout the house. Not knowing what to make of it, he grabbed his phone and got out of bed to investigate.
So I'm home alone, and I'm pretty sure I'm hearing noises, things in that back room. Hello? Please tell me you guys heard that. I'm home alone too. Man, I'm not trying to do this. I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go in here. Oh my. Bro. Why is that? Who's here? Hello? Nope.
The noises seemed to surround him, bouncing from room to room, leaving him confused and on edge as he wandered through the house. Then, without warning, a door in another room slammed shut with a force that made him jump. The suddenness of it all left Pete visibly shaken, his breathing quick and unsteady, as he whispered to the camera, clearly terrified that the haunting presence had only grown stronger. That same night, after Pete finally forced himself back into bed, the noises started all over again. This time he couldn't ignore them. He grabbed his phone once more and made his way downstairs, walking carefully through the dark, still questioning what exactly was happening in his home.
Where are you? So I'm here at the apartment again. There's no one here and I'm hearing things once again. Hello? What do you want? Where are you? Whoa. Whoa, I heard that. What's your name? What do you want?
In the video, he can be heard asking aloud what its name is, and almost immediately, the LEDs in the room begin flashing on and off. Not randomly, but in a repeated sequence, almost like Morse code. Pete stood there frozen, whispering in disbelief, before ending the recording. He later uploaded it, asking viewers to help him figure out whether the lights were actually trying to spell out a name, and encouraged anyone who could translate to leave their thoughts in the comments. Ian, better known online as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, has spent years traveling across his region, diving into abandoned buildings, historic landmarks, and long-rumored haunted places. His passion for the paranormal has led him into countless chilling encounters, and he documents them all for his channel. This time, he set out to investigate an old haunted theater completely on his own, armed only with his camera and a willingness to chase whatever might be inside.
Back here.
Okay, I think I'm going crazy here. I just heard a woman talking. What the f***?
Ma'am? I hear you, but I don't see you. I just want to come say hi. Hello?
Oh my god. No way. That sounded like singing. I literally heard that with my own ears. That was in here. Look, there's nobody.
While exploring the backstage area, after hearing an unusual noise, Ian slowly walked the narrow halls, scanning every corner for movement. That's when a disembodied voice echoed faintly, startling him, but pushing him to continue deeper. A few moments later, soft singing began drifting through the space, eerie and completely out of place in the dead silence of the theater. Ian stood frozen, listening carefully, knowing the building was supposed to be empty. The clip ends there, leaving the mystery unresolved. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where Ian returns to uncover what could be behind the voice and the singing. Being put on the night shift can be one of the most devastating things a human can be given, especially if they don't work at those hours, usually. One day, Riley, the man in our following video, was told to take this role and work from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., and he initially rejected the offer. However, when his boss put the opportunity of double pay on the table, he had to take the offer. Little did anybody know that working would not be the primary strain on Riley's evening though, and there would be something far worse tormenting him that night. Have a look at what happened.
I'm freaking the crap out. So I was just doing night out at work back here, and then I walked to the back to grab a stapler, and I hear keys fall. And oh my gosh, I'm so freaking scared right now. I walk out here, and this is the breakfast report right here, and I put the keys with it, and when I walked away, the keys freaking fell by themselves. I don't know if I set them like on the edge or what, but they fell, and I'm freaking the crap out, people. Oh my gosh. The paper moves. It's moving again. Oh my gosh.
All sorts of things happened in this clip, from keys falling to the ground all the way to paper moving without any human interaction. This was frightening for obvious reasons, and Riley was super fortunate to have got it on camera so he could show his boss. To his dismay though, no further action was taken, but at least he wasn't made to suffer a night shift again. The man had always suspected his house was haunted, but things really started to escalate when he heard tapping sounds coming from the cabinet beside him. He walked over and noticed that an ornament with small dangling parts was lightly tapping against a cabinet door, seemingly on its own. Curious, he opened the cabinet to get a better look and decided to film in case something else happened.
Poltergeist. So I'm sitting here gaming, and that object up there swung and literally smacked the glass really hard. Damn reflection, but look, still moving. Let's catch it before it stops. Look, still moving. Oh no, it moved. Look, it was sitting there, as you can see from the dust. Oh, so it moved. Alright. Can you make it swing again? Damn, I really need to wipe off in there. Look at all that shit. Can you make it swing again? Try to open that more. Hello? Can you make it move again? Oh, look. It made them all move now. Nice. Can you make it swing like you did before when it hit the glass? It's going out of focus. Alright, now I said swing it, not move it. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. And I opened that thing, so probably let the damn thing out. Yo, this thing keeps moving. I'm like nervous and shaking. And I'm lightheaded a little bit. Keeps going out of focus. Surprised them things ain't shaking more how much it moved. I'm so nervous, man. So lightheaded. I'm gonna regret this, but can you make it move again? Can you make it move again? So lightheaded. Can you slide it the other way? Keeps going out of focus. Yo! Was that a nickel, a dime, a penny? Look, there's my change. That thing went flying. How did it not hit the glass? See, that's some glitch in the Matrix shit. Yo, I gotta rewatch that, cause how'd it get past that glass and fly behind this stuff? fuck is that? That's definitely not what flew out. I don't even know where that went. Or even...
As the camera rolls, the ornament moves again. This time not just swaying but visibly sliding to the right in a smooth, deliberate motion. Then, out of nowhere, a penny shoots out from inside the cabinet, curving around the edge of the closed door and landing on the floor. It defied any explanation. After seeing the footage back, he was stunned. There was no airflow, no vibration, and no explanation for how the coin had moved like that. He has now started documenting everything and is seriously considering bringing in someone with experience in the paranormal. Something is clearly trying to make itself known, and it is no longer subtle about it. The family had long suspected something wasn't right in their home. After months of strange occurrences, noises, shifting objects, and an uneasy feeling that never fully went away, they finally installed cameras in key areas to see if they could catch anything. One of the cameras in the living room captured something they weren't ready for. It begins with a toy suddenly activating by itself, mechanical sounds cutting through the quiet. Then, more toys start to move slowly, shifting unnaturally without anyone nearby. As if that weren't enough, a white chair suddenly slides across the floor, completely unprovoked. The room was empty, and the footage was clear. This wasn't wind, vibrations, or a trick of light. The family watched the video several times, each time more unsettled than the last. They've kept the footage, started logging every incident, and are now considering professional help. With the cameras still rolling and the activity escalating, one question remains. What is it that's trying to make itself known in their home? Make sure to subscribe because that question will be answered in a future video. On July 29th, 2007, a group of boys decided to explore an old abandoned church on the outskirts of town. The place had been left to decay for years, and while the setting was eerie, nothing unusual happened for a while. They wandered through the dusty aisles, laughing and filming parts of their adventure like it was just another fun challenge.
Close that damn door, I'm scared shitless. Oh shit, look at this ladder, it's like a secret door or something. When we try to get up it?
I'm not doing it.
Should I?
I'm not. You can go.
Fuck, I am. Don't.
Someone's gonna fall out of there.
Man, shut up. God damn it. We're around. I can't take this right
Oh
now.
god.
I'm so scared.
Shit.
Oh no. Oh my god. Turn the light. Shit. Listen. Oh shit, that's fucking piano. Is that piano? Come on. Should we go out there? Is that door open? Is that door open?
Shit, we left the door open.
Should we stay in here for a second? No. We gotta stay. We gotta stay.
Alright,
This could be priceless.
Somebody.
Holy shit! Holy shit, what are we doing?
Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't know what to fucking do, please. God, help me. I gotta make it out alive. I wanna see my mama. Alright. We're gonna try to make it to the front door. Alright, just run. Alright, go. The door's locked. What do we do? Dude? We gotta make it run. Oh my God. Alright, go. Oh my God, holy shit. Holy fuck, the music stopped playing. The music, go. Shit. I'm scared shit. He's following. Oh God. I can't breathe.
That changed instantly when they heard a soft melody echo through the church. The piano, untouched and worn from time, was playing by itself. As they turned to look, an apparition appeared at the bench, its hands gliding over the keys. Panic set in. The boys bolted out of the building, barely able to process what they had seen. They called a taxi and waited in silence at the edge of the road, too shaken to speak. That night marked the end of their ghost hunting curiosity. None of them ever went exploring like that again. After what happened the last time Kyle Anthony appeared on this channel, he had tried to move on. That night he heard what sounded like a little girl laughing from the basement while home alone had never left his mind, but without solid proof, he let it go. This time, though, his fiancée was home. When he heard the sound again, soft, eerie, and definitely childlike, he grabbed his phone and started recording.
Why do y'all want me to go down in the basement so bad? I'm already scared as hell. My fiance's home now, so it's a little bit better, but I don't want to go down there. Gosh dang. I haven't heard it again anyway. It was probably just the air conditioner making a freaking noise or something, you know what I mean? Whoa, oh, okay, no. Okay, y'all think that's Elmo now? That wasn't no toy. That wasn't no toy, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was ridiculous. Yeah, let's just not,
The video captures a quiet, unsettling noise rising from the basement. It isn't laughter this time, but something just as unnerving. It carried the same childish tone, like someone trying to speak, but not making sense. Kyle is spooked during this clip, and for a moment nothing else happens. But right at the very end, the basement door slightly moves. Just a subtle shift, enough to catch your eye and make your stomach drop. Afterward, Kyle showed his fiancée the footage, and both of them were left uneasy. They know there's no one else in the house, and no reason for the sound or the movement. Now that they've both heard it, they're starting to realize whatever is down there isn't going away on its own. Kyle has begun tracking each occurrence, and the couple is thinking seriously about bringing in outside help. This no longer feels like a coincidence. Something is down there, and it is making itself known. Elle had already been asleep for a while when a series of soft knocking sounds woke them up. Confused and uneasy, they grabbed their phone and started filming as they got out of bed to investigate.
Mami, te grabo este video porque están tocando constantemente la puerta. Están pasando cosas que no son normales. ¿Quién? ¿Quién? No hay nadie. ¿Viste eso?
The video shows Elle walking down the hallway toward the door where the knocking came from. They open it slowly, only to reveal absolutely nothing on the other side. No people, no wind, nothing that could have made the sound. After checking briefly, Elle returns to their room, and that's when the real shock hits. As the camera turns toward the bed, the covers are visibly shifting and tugging as if someone or something is underneath them, but there's no one there. Elle pans around the room in a panic, but it's completely empty. After the experience, Elle stayed awake the rest of the night with the lights on. The next morning, they told friends about it, and a few believe something is definitely trying to get their attention. Whether it's a warning or a presence just making itself known, Elle knows one thing for sure. That night changed everything. The following video was captured by a mother of 3, and her children's ages varied heavily. Her youngest was just 3 years old, but the eldest was a 16-year-old boy who was always out with his friends. One day, shortly after asking to go out, his mother allowed him to, despite it being a late hour, which would usually be off limits. Fortunately, he had a good time and was back home the next day, but little did he know what was going on back at his house whilst he was out.
Не поняла, опять этот звук. Снова. Именно когда сын уходит. Именно когда сын уходит, появляется этот звук из шкафа. Ребята, вы это слышите? Вы слышите, да, это, ребята? Почему так происходит именно когда сын уходит на улицу? Боже мой.
Strangely, his voice could be heard, and it was almost as if it was within the walls of the house. No matter how many cabinets are storage items, the mother checked, she could not find her son, and this is when she realized it was a mimic. Over the next week, she plotted how to get rid of this ghost, but then realized since her real son came home, it stopped anyway, so there was no point. I send my wishes that it will not start again. The following video was captured by a man called Paul, who had absolutely no belief in anything from the paranormal world. The mere mention of spirits made him laugh in the face of whoever spoke the word, and the shock that would come to him if he actually came across one would be indescribable. In the video that I am about to show you, Paul was in his house doing some maintenance jobs that his wife set whilst she was out working when all of a sudden, a dark and eerie feeling swarmed the room, which gave him the instinct to press record, and this is what was caught.
El televisor solo.
Los exteriores de Chi, que finalmente redundan en la gestión y administración del territorio.
Strangely, the television was turned on by itself, but this is only one of the things that happened. This wasn't just a paranormal incident in isolation, it was many combined. The bell tower started chiming, as if a force had acted upon it, but we can clearly see that nothing has. Furthermore, it throws bottles, and something even hits the feet of Paul towards the end of this video. Paul did not believe in the paranormal world one bit before this video, but after it, saying he was questioning his feelings would be an understatement. In July of 2018, a family in New Orleans were sitting down together, watching some television, when the youngest child noticed something very strange. They pointed at the cabinets beneath the TV and claimed that they were moving by themselves, so the parents paused the television to take a look. For roughly a minute, nothing happened, and they were debating putting the television back on, as they were quite enjoying their show. However, moments later, this happened, and it kept them glued to their seats, and not to mention their mouths glued closed.
Okay guys, we're in our room and you know, things are a little strange. So I'm gonna see if I can see what's going on and see if we can get somebody to respond. So if you're in here, please let us know. Okay, I know y'all see that, right? Nobody's touching nothing. Yeah, spooky.
It was very fortunate that the father decided to take his phone out to record this incident, because the child was correct and the cabinet moved on its own accord. We could clearly see inside of the cabinet as it was moving, and nothing was seen inside, meaning that whatever caused this must have been invisible. The kid says that it was most definitely a ghost, but the parents just can't teach themselves to buy into that opinion. I'm keen to see what you think in the comments. What would you do if random objects started moving inside of your house without any human interaction? My prediction is that you would run away and shout, because I know for certain that would be my reaction. Well, the man in the following video handled it much differently. His name is Sam, and throughout his life he always felt as if someone or something was watching him. These feelings became so bad that he even had to go and seek therapy for it to see if any past traumas could be triggering it. But little did anybody know what was actually behind the feeling.
Hay algo. Ay, ¿qué pido? No mames, ¿qué pido? Se está moviendo el banquito solo. No mames. ¡Ah, su puta madre!
A ghost must have been behind it all along. Unlike most people who cower in the face of paranormal activity, Sam was cool and collected here, acting as a good example for how to behave. However, it makes no sense why he would be this way. For a first time, experienced the reaction was way too chill and laid back, with many speculating it was because this was fake. Hold on though, because it wasn't. Perhaps over the years, Sam was starting to think that the feelings came from a spirit, so when it actually decided to haunt him, it came as no surprise. The truth is that there are no real answers out there, and it is up for interpretation. A bedroom is meant to be a safe space for people to go to when they want to drown out all of the noise from the world. And in the clip that I am going to show you shortly, Hannah was using it for this exact reason. She had experienced a horrible day at college, and when she came home, the only thing that she truly desired was her bed. But she had no idea that something was going to step in her way. The time was 11 p.m., and Hannah was still on her mobile phone, scrolling through social media in order to forget about the day, but she was beginning to consider going to sleep. Just as she came to the decision to rest though, this happened.
Yo, what the heck?
Somehow, the sound of knocking could be heard on the other side of the door, and it was a repetitive knock that supposedly lasted 2 minutes. Hannah didn't think to record for the majority of the situation, but we are lucky she came to that choice eventually. After catching the knocking on camera, Hannah knew that she needed to prove its authenticity in order to post it online, so searched the bathroom that the knocking came from. To absolutely nobody's surprise, it was empty. One of the most prominent places to become haunted in a house is the basement, and the only place in contention is the attic. The basement is where all of the dodgy things happen because it is tucked away and hidden from the rest of civilization. In our next clip, a mother of 2 was doing some cleaning around the house when she started to hear a weird noise coming from down in the basement. She was too frightened to go and check without company, so called to her daughter for aid, who agreed to go down there with her. Fortunately, nothing dangerous was on the other side of the door, but something weird definitely was.
And this is my basement. Summer. Tell me it's in the same box as Chucky right now.
Yeah, it's right there.
What?
Yeah, it's in there.
Right, but it hasn't been touched, and all of a sudden, after all of these months, and it's off.
After taking a moment to actually identify where the sounds were coming from, they found out it was in a Christmas box, and the noise was a Santa toy. Curious to see how it had turned itself on, the mother reached into the box and pulled it out, revealing the most frightening part of this story. The switch was off. No matter how many experts have tried to debunk this video, none of them have been able to and haven't recorded an explanation for the Santa incident. The mother is currently contacting ghost hunters to see if they can be of any aid.